here I am stuck in top split. 25 people in the race, I'm right at the back. And I'm probably going to finish at the back as well. At least you can't finish any lower. That's true. Think positive.
So, hello everyone and welcome back to another iRacing episode, and we're starting a brand new season. This is the first race of a new season of touring cars, my second season of touring cars, and I'm going to aim to do sort of a full season this time. Qualifying, honestly, as you're watching, pretty much the only qualifying lap that I got in, it was pretty disappointing. I was way off the pace for this first lap. I've already lost, 3/10, and it gets even worse as the lap goes on. And then on the second lap I had an off track which invalidated the lap entirely, so I still did manage to qualify 19th, which honestly was better than I expected, given that, as you saw, I was ranked last in this one. This is, like I said, the first race of the season, and it's a new track to me. I've never raced around Montreal before. I'm back in the Honda, but I didn't have all that much time to practice, and I also wasn't feeling that well. This would be the only race that I would be doing, which was also a bit of a handicap for me, because normally I'm only on iRacing once per week and I do a maximum of sort of 3 races. So normally I use the first race as kind of extended practice. This time my extended practice was going to be my only race this round. It's a shame I wasn't able to do more, because Montreal was fun in these cars, but honestly, the way that I was feeling, I could have easily missed this one out entirely. So I'm happy that I managed to sort of get the round in, and I can still aim to do races for all rounds this season. That's something that I can still aim for, because I've managed to do this first round. But yeah, this first one was just, a lot of things sort of going against me. Nevertheless, like I said, I qualified 19th, which was significantly better than I expected, so at least I was hopeful for an entertaining race, and I think that's what we're going to get, as we'll see. As soon as the race starts, it gets quite interesting, as you've probably already seen from the thumbnail.
Just a casual 3 seconds per lap quicker. That's what I'm not doing this season. I'm not comparing myself to the very best. I'm never going to be able to not do that fully, but I need to have things into perspective at least.
Green flag, green flag.
Oh, bloody hell.
Right side, you're on the left, 3 wide. Car right, 2 wide. You're on the left, 3 wide. Still hold.
Oh.
Car right, 2 wide. Stay on the left. Clear on the right.
So yeah, I'm not really sure what this guy did there, but this obviously isn't the best start to the season. It looked like he just didn't turn into the corner, and I was expecting him to turn into the corner, so he just went straight. But not the best start to the season, and obviously given the time loss, I was a long way back at this stage. You can see everybody scamper away down the rest of the track, and I'm still languishing off the track on the grass. So yeah, I think it's a relatively entertaining race from here on out, nevertheless, given everything else that I was up against this week as well.
Excellent start to race 1 of the season.
Car on your left. Still there. Clear.
I don't know what happened. I'll have to look on the replay at some point, but me qualifying off the back did nothing to get me away from the back, it seems. Do these guys not know I'm not very well, and I'm just trying to get a race in? Leave me alone.
You got a slow car on the right.
Well, we're ranked last. We started 6 places away from last. And after the first corner, we're back into last. So we're about where we should be, I suppose. The natural order of things sorting itself out.
So as I settle into the race, which was difficult given everything that I've previously mentioned and kind of led me to just have really inconsistent laps, I'll talk a little bit about how things have changed in touring car racing on iRacing this season. First of all, there's bigger fields in general for the races. As you've seen in this one, there's 25 people in this race. The maximum is actually 30. I think last season it was 20, so we've got bigger grids here. I don't know how that's going to work out. Maybe I'll end up being in top split more often and sort of at the back of top split more often rather than sometimes being at the top of second split or something like that. But yeah, there's also now split race series, so there's a fixed setup series and an open setup series. I still know nothing really about setups, so I'm going to be sticking with the fixed series, which is what I did last season. But the problem is that there's 2 hours between those races now, because on 1 hour we'll have, on even hours, there's the fixed setup series, then on the odd hour in between there's the open setup series, and those are longer races as well. Those are 30-minute races, and obviously with open setups, people can just change the car to their liking and change all these different aspects of the car to make them quicker and feel better. But obviously for a fixed setup, all the cars are just locked in their base setup and everybody's driving the same thing. By the way, at this point I was happy to get an overtake, and I was basically celebrating not being last at this point, which is a clear-cut signifier that you're having a great race, of course. I'm still in the mix though, a lot more than I thought I would be in this race, so we'll see what we can get out of it. So yeah, I'm going to be aiming to do the first fixed setup race, and that will be my sort of introductory race. Then the next race I'll do will be the open race in the following hour. Like I said, it's 30 minutes long instead of the 15-minute races that we do in fixed, so it will sort of act as even more practice, essentially, just in a race format. And I'm not going to be fiddling around with the setups for those open setup races, because my focus is going to be on the fixed setup championship. So I want to be driving the car that I'm going to be using in the final fixed setup race and try to get the best position I can in that. That's like I said, if in weeks like this, if I'm having a bad time, I'm going to focus on doing the fixed setup race and nothing else. The open setup is, I'm just kind of doing it just to be able to do something between the 2 hours of the fixed setup races. So I'll probably be comparatively more off the pace in those open setup races, but hey, I'm sure I can still have some good races nevertheless. And then yeah, once I've done those 2 races, this is going to be sort of my plan every week, is to then go back to the final fixed setup race, and that'll be on the 3rd hour, which will hopefully be where I'll perform the best and get the points for the championship for that week. Like I said, I'm focusing on the fixed for this season, even though I'm going to be participating in the open championship as well. So yeah, it's a little bit different. It's not just like last season where I could do 2 or 3 races back to back every hour and be able to, I'm just doing the same series. This time I'm having to split it a little bit and make sure that I'm jumping on at the right time so I can do the right number of races. But I think the result will still be the same, that sort of the final race in the fixed setup is always going to be my best, as we see some action going on there with that double overtake. So I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of the race at the start of lap 5 and midway through lap 6. Those are some particular highlights for the rest of the race. But yeah, I think it's still a good one, even though, well, at least taking into account everything else that I was up against this week. So hopefully you enjoy anyway, and I'll see you for more in the next episode.
Bloody hell. I had to just try to be opportunistic there. I had to take some contact for it, but that's alright. Two places in one corner. Ah, that was bad. Oh! Holy moly, I don't know. I didn't go into him there. I thought he was coming straight forward.
Car on your left.
Look at
Clear. Car on your left. Clear. Car right. Stay on the left. Clear.
It's a little bit dodgy.
Left side. Keep to the right. Clear on the left.
Having to defend. We survived the attack after I got the overtake. That's nice. I've got the guy who I was racing with early on in front of me now. Obviously a back marker at this point. Whew. Maybe 2 more laps.
You got about 5 laps of fuel left.
That was bad. I'm just really inconsistent right now. I'm really struggling to be able to consistently do these corners well, but that's to be expected, I suppose. I am sweating a little bit.
Last lap.
I just need to bring it home now. 1 more lap to go.
Left side, clear. Car on your left. Stay on the right. Clear on the left.
He didn't make it easy for me, did he? Mr. Backmarker. Wasn't great. One more corner, I just need to bring this home. I'm actually in 19th. How am I in 19th? I was in 20th a lap ago. Someone must have had an issue. That's where I qualified. Well, there we go.
Car stop on the left.
I qualified 19th and I finished 19th, but there was a lot that happened in between that. I managed to set a 48 in the race. That's actually my best lap that I've ever set. But I was just struggling with consistency so much, which is to be expected. It's a brand new track. My first race. Obviously. But I mean, iRacing thinks that I should have been last, so 19, anything other than last is an improvement. Yeah, we only lost 16 on the iRating, so that's not too bad. It's the only race I'm going to be able to do today because I'm not feeling very well, but I made the most of the situation that I was in after that first corner, I guess. And that's going to be kind of the experience the next few weeks, because there's a lot of tracks this season that I don't know, so I'm going to have to learn them. But at least in future weeks, I'll be able to treat the first race as a practice like I normally do, and do better for the second race. I'm not getting my second race this time, but hey, it is what it is.